Worlds collide when the Flash uses his superpowers to travel back in time to change the events of that past. However, when his attempt to save his family inadvertently alters the future, he becomes trapped in a reality in which General Zod has returned, threatening annihilation. With no other superheroes to turn to, the Flash looks to coax a very different Batman out of retirement and rescue an imprisoned Kryptonian, although not the one he's looking for. Now, before I go into the ratings and the reviews, I gotta tell you something. I was wrong about one thing. Maybe this movie is not going to be... It's not doing as well as I thought it would, to say the least. Me personally, I'd give it about a 6 or 7. 7 at most. Keep in mind, I'm not a hardcore superhero action fan, so I couldn't... There's a lot of detail to this stuff that a lot of other people know that I wouldn't. So, I'll tell you one thing that I was right about and one thing I was wrong about. I remember when I did my review when I did the Fast X review. And by the time I did the review, keep in mind that movie budgeted $340 million. And at the time I did the review, I think the box office was about just over 400 million. People were saying, oh, it's gonna bomb, it's gonna do bad, it's poor. And I said, give it time. The movie just came out. It's gonna get more in due time. It's not gonna stop here. And now the last number that I checked is just over 686 million. Still pretty well for a movie like that and for that franchise. So, I mean, they've a little bit more than doubled their budget. What I was wrong about was The Flash. And The Flash just came out on Friday. I went to go see it on Sunday. The budget on that movie overall was $220 million, and right now their box office is $140 million. They are down $80 million. And here's what I said to people who said it was bombing, and all the articles came out and said, this is why this movie's poor, it's failing, it sucks, it's gonna bomb. And I said, people, the movie just came, and this was the day I went to go see it. I said, people, the movie just came out 48 hours ago. Give it time. Give it time. It's not going to get $1 billion overnight. It's not the Avengers. It's not, a Batman. I'd say just give it time. And, well, some time has been given, and it's still way below its budget. So, I was wrong. Maybe this one isn't even going to get close. It may not even reach, even at this point, maybe 300 million is questionable. They'll be lucky if they even get to that, which is good in the sense that they wouldn't lose any money, but still bad that they didn't go anywhere near expectations. And I said, I thought the movie was all right. Let's go into some of the reasons why people didn't care for it or why they thought it was poor. The general ratings on the Google users are 76 to 86%. I don't see where Internet Movie Database gave a review. I don't see anything from IGN. But I do see this. And here's the other thing that's shocking to me. Rotten Tomatoes. You're probably thinking, it's $80 million below. Rotten Tomatoes probably only gave it a 10, 20, 30% because Rotten Tomatoes is usually tough. They always give stuff low ratings. They gave it 66. I'm surprised for something like that. Now, I got to tell you, when I looked at the numbers for the last Wonder Woman that came out, before I dive into this right quick, I just want to say this. Wonder Woman budgeted $200 million, box office $170 million. They lost $30 million, and the reason why I was incredibly shocked about that is because I've never heard of any superhero movie losing money. The people who work in the horror film industry, they probably looked at that and said, welcome to our club. Now you know how it feels. And so I thought to myself, there's no way any superhero movie would lose any money, even if it didn't gross $1 billion, even if it wasn't an Avengers. Flash is down 80 million. Wonder Woman lost 30 million. I don't know what's going on in Marvel and DC, but I don't know. Something's happening over there. I don't know what. All the Marvel and DC fans, I'm sure you all know, but let me go into this right here. So under Google, let me look under let's see what the 5 stars had to say. I just watched the first day, first show. It was freaking epic. I loved every bit of it. Andy showed Flash's abilities beautifully. It was emotional, fun, had good humor, and good action. Ezra Miller is a hell of an actor. And the good thing is the comedy wasn't cringe like some of the other franchise. I love both, and Ezra's performance was so good. I cried at the last moment. Also, there's a superhero movie where the hero actually saves the people. I don't remember the last time I saw this in a superhero movie. The multiverse and time continuum was explained excellently. Lots of hits and misses. The Flash was everything I want from a film these days. Escapism, fun, action, humor, and a great score, and some good performances. So that was the 5-star. Let me go down to the 1-star, and let's see what this says, because I'm just curious. I haven't even looked at this before, so I'm just showing it to you now. And I'm just now seeing this. Somebody by the name of Robert said, so I took my son to this with the hopes of having an energized, fun talk afterwards and potentially building excitement for the next installment. This left us both wanting for words. The initial kickoff of the movie was okay. Painful CGI with what all we can guess was heavy use of AI for image generation and animation. It reminds me of something I would have written out in a few sentences and let the AI generate, which is not what I would have expected from the time and budget allowed for this film. Among the best parts of the movie, in my opinion, was Ezra having a conversation with Ben Affleck regarding the poor choice of time travel. I don't know that I have other positive, noteworthy points, which is really disappointing. The depiction of the multiverse was poorly conceived and seemed like simply a mess of garbled nonsense in a coliseum of, well, garbled nonsense. It was painful to watch and was very contrived and forced. Although thought may have gone into the development, it truly fell woefully short of its target. The comedic moments were forced and more based on crude humor and not something that really sticks with you. Throughout the term of the movie, only one instance gave me a chuckle to the theater of the people we shared this experience with. Now to the actors. Ezra is a skilled actor. Of that, I have no doubt. Unfortunately, I don't personally feel that this is the role for him. To say his awkwardness is awkward is an understatement. One of the DCWB's problems is finding the right personalities for the job. This is simply another example of that clear gap. A strong suggestion would be to pull Grant Gustin and Candice Patton into their already familiar roles. I understand that Kiersey hasn't had a real opportunity to establish herself in a role, and that giving her a chance to show her skills is important, but there needs to be that umbilical cord between the show and the movies. And this guy has about 3 other paragraphs right here. It's a whole lot. So, I mean, maybe that could be true to a degree. And like I said, I don't really study this whole thing with people saying, oh, that's not the right actor or actress for this job, or they can't go. I haven't gotten there yet. I'm not that deep like that. So I couldn't tell you. I just watch a movie. I see who's there. I'm more focused on the content of the movie rather than just who's acting in it. Now, with a lot of series, I mean, yeah, you're used to certain actors and actresses. Yeah, you're used to Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, Chris Hemsworth playing Thor. So, I mean, if they replace them with anybody else, I can see the weirdness to that a complaint, but I don't think that would stop people from watching the movie. Like I said, I don't study this stuff, so I don't really know. It was really more so a movie that I just watched just for fun, just for the sake of watching something, really. This person right here says, legitimately one of the worst superhero movies I've seen that has been released in the past couple years, featuring a deeply unpleasant set of performances by Ezra Miller and an uncommitted, mumbly Michael Keaton. The narrative is everything you have come to hate out of a superhero movie while complicating both time travel and the multiverse mechanics a lot of movies run off of now. Featuring super jarring CGI scenes that become inherently and incoherently visual noise. It's kind of worded a little bit wrong, but I kind of get the gist. Noise by the end of the movie. This movie has a complete lack of style, especially regarding its slavish devotion to recreating aesthetics from other movies in a Blender-like fashion, shotgun quickly for the last 30 minutes. If you love recreations of corpses in PS1 cutscene era graphics, annoying performances by someone with a lengthy list of alleged crimes, and an incoherent narrative that runs out of steam as soon as it comes to terms with itself, this is the movie for you. Wow. That's a way of putting it. So, people, just to kind of give you a little bit of why people didn't like it or what, I don't know. I don't know. And all I can say is this. All I can say is this. At the end of the day, you can look at the reviews and you can still make your own decision. I don't have to put the trailer to The Flash in the comment section because it's The Flash. Everybody already knows what it is. It's superhero. Superhero movies automatically sell themselves. And all I can say is just look at it if you want to look at it. Look at some of the other reviews on here. A lot of this stuff is way too long to read on here. You know, a lot of people on here put like 10 paragraphs. I'm not going to go through all that. Take up your time. But again, I thought it was all right. And again, I think they had a lot of slow motion scenes in there. How he saved people that fell out of a building. I thought that was pretty good towards the beginning of the movie. I'm not going to spoil it. But we had some top actors and actresses in here. Some well-known people. So Ezra Miller, Michael Keaton, Ben Affleck, Sasha Cal, Kiersey Clemens, Michael Shannon, Maribel Verdú. Nicolas Cage actually popped in there for a quick 5 seconds. Don't ask me what role he played. You just have to see it. Ron Livingston, Henry Cavill, Luke Brandon Field, Ray Fisher, Isabel Bernardo, Jeremy Irons, Gal Gadot, Jason Momoa, a few others. So other than that, again, I'm a little bit shocked. I'm surprised. I'm not even a hardcore superhero fan, but to me, it just doesn't make any sense. How did to me, the idea of a superhero movie losing even $1 million is unheard of and unrealistic. But for something to be down $80 million and for Wonder Woman to lose $30 million, unheard of. Unheard of. I didn't watch the Wonder Woman one, so I'm not judging that one, so don't get it twisted. And by the way, I want people to understand this. When I read negative reviews on this stuff, I'm not discouraging you from watching the movie or the show that I'm talking about, or the video game or whatever else I might be talking about. At the end of the day, it's available for everybody to watch. It's public. Go ahead and do what you want to do. I think it's probably maybe worth one watch if you're just in the right mood and at the right moment. So, other than that, people, The Flash, $140 million at the box office right now. Let's see if it'll rise above ranks. Give it 2 months, maybe. Let's see if it'll even reach $250 million. If they do that, they'd be extremely, extremely lucky.